Evans. Omar Mamouche, I mean, he's been a breath of fresh air at Manchester City. He came in January as part of the 5 players that they signed, and already he scored 3 goals, a hat-trick against Newcastle, who are high-flying. Before I give my opinion, discuss.
I think Omar Mamouche is going to be a big hit in the Premier League, considering that his background, he comes from a footballing background, and he has been on the rise all through since he started his footballing career back in his homeland at Wadi Degla before now rising up to City. So I think as far as I'm concerned, Omar Mamouche is on the rise and he's only getting started in his career. Yes.
Mamouche himself scored a hat-trick against Newcastle United. Now he's now scored 3 goals in his first 3 Premier League games.
A well-taken hat-trick for that
he was high-flying for Eintracht Frankfurt, where he signed in 2023. He was actually the top scorer on 15 goals at the time of leaving Frankfurt to join Manchester City. And what I like about Mamouche is the fact that he wants to get into goal-scoring positions. He wants to get into the opposition area as much as possible, especially if you watched on his debut against Chelsea. A game that you took the lead by a goal to nil, but then ended up losing 3 goals to 1. He was getting into goal-scoring positions, but the only thing was he was getting caught offside very often. And we discussed and said that if he finds a way to try and avoid the offside trap, then he's going to be a revelation. And I predicted it, he'll be a pain in the neck for many teams, and that is exactly what he's doing at Manchester City. And I believe that if Erling Haaland can find a way to hold up the ball more often and create space for him, then he's going to find the net, the back of the net more often, as we've seen with Mohamed Salah at Liverpool, where when he came, Salah is a direct runner. So he used to run off Roberto Firmino. Right now, he's running off the likes of Darwin Núñez, whose hold-up play has improved, the likes of Diogo Jota, who creates space for him. And 8 seasons down the line at Liverpool, he's now on course to hit 200 Premier League goals. So if he goes on this trajectory, I believe he's going to create a good legacy and career for himself at Manchester City.
I think the way you just put it, his career is on track. If you look at the stats, don't lie, because in 46 appearances for Eintracht Frankfurt, he scored 27 goals, meaning that his goal return in terms of chances created ranks him among the best 5 players in the Bundesliga before he left for Manchester City. Now coming into the Premier League, I think the first 2 matches was some sort of a learning curve for him. Then he took the opportunity against Newcastle, utilized the spaces being opened up by the likes of Erling Haaland and Kevin De Bruyne, and finally got his first hat-trick in a City jersey. What I like about Mamouche is the way he tends to open up defenses, even the meanest of defenses, because heading into the Newcastle match, Newcastle was one of the teams that was on form. If you look at the number of goals Newcastle had conceded in the past 7-8 matches, they were like less than 5 goals. But Mamouche was the key to why Manchester City won that match. And the way he beats the offside trap makes him a deadly finisher. If at all, he can now polish the small bits of his finishing. Yes.
And if he goes on that trajectory, I believe he's going to Manchester City fans are going to love him, and he's going to be part of the players that are trying to get Manchester City back to the top, considering Manchester City are in the process of a rebuild. I mean, that was inevitable after winning the treble. Right now, you can tell they need freshening up, and he's of the right age. I think he's 26 years old right now, so he still has 5 or 6 years or 7 years at least at the highest level if he takes care of himself.